Hi, everybody. Welcome back to this week's video, or welcome if it is your first time tuning in. My name is Stephanie, and each week I bring you an energetic forecast that gives us a little bit of a jump start on what is coming at us energetically the following week. So I released these videos on Saturday to kind of get us set up for the week. So we're looking at February 19th through the 25th, 2023. But as I always say, if you happen to stumble across this video outside that time frame, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the week after, and the guidance feels relevant to you for what's going on in your life at that moment, then it absolutely is relevant. So signs, symbols, synchronicities come to us without any sort of chronological time. But for the purposes of this video, we are looking at the time period of February 19th through the 25th. And we do have a new moon in Pisces on Monday, the 20th, I believe. If you are a regular viewer, you know I know very little of astrology, but I do tend to follow the new moons and full moons and other major events. So new moons generally great for creating more of what we want. And we started to build on that energy last week where it felt like we were kind of getting things moving again. I think that's an ongoing process now. I think it's just a permanent sort of things will be manifesting. We'll be able to create things easily, but they don't feel rushed like they used to. So it may feel like, and I know this is going to sound like probably one of the strangest things I've said, but it almost feels like time is speeding up, but slowing down at the same time, where it feels like things are happening more easily. Things may be falling into our laps, or we just feel like we're able to take action on things that maybe were stalled or at a standstill or in a holding pattern for quite a while. We feel like things are moving again, but they don't feel rushed or frazzly or, like we're not in control of the situation. So it's a very sort of grounded movement forward is the message I keep getting. So this week we will talk about our 3 Akashic keywords. And again, if you're new to my channel, each week I download or channel when I'm working in the Akashic records, which is sort of my specialty as far as private readings. I channel 3 keywords that give us the energy or a glimpse at the collective energy for the week. So we'll talk about those, and then we will talk about our crystal cards using crystal deck number 4 from healingcrystals.com. We will grab our new moon in Pisces card from the Moonology manifest, or I'm sorry, this is the regular Moonology deck, not the manifestation deck. I'm going to do the yes or no cards again. I get a lot of people tend to message me through Instagram, or sometimes my website people find me and on Facebook, and they like the yes or no lately. So always feel free to leave a comment on the video itself. You don't have to find me someplace else. You're welcome to leave a comment on the video. Likewise, if you do like the content and you are not subscribed, it turns out a very small portion of people subscribe to YouTube channels. I didn't know that. I don't tend to track algorithms or anything like that. So it's always a surprise to me how many people tune in each week. But leave a comment or a thumbs up, engage with the channel in some way, and it lets me know there are people watching. If you have special requests for topics or decks for me to use, I'm always happy to sort of customize these weekly readings based on what people want to dive into. So my information about private readings is always in the description box. If you want to do a really deep dive into something, you can find me that way. But I do like to engage with people here on YouTube. So feel free to leave a comment. If you are into the astrology this week of the new moon in Pisces, feel free to leave more information about that. Okay, and then so what that all was leading to is I will be doing the yes and no cards again at the end, because people have been contacting me to say they like those, and that's just any question or topic you've been working on will get a yes or no nudge at the end of the reading. But for the remainder of the reading, the majority of the week, we are going to use the Enchanted Map Oracle deck. So the 3 keywords for this week, we have progression. Interesting, right? I was just saying things feel like they're moving forward. Progression, depth, and reflection. And if you know me and you tune in regularly, you know that I always say, what do you mean when I'm channeling these? Well, what does that mean? Tell me more. So what I got about these three keywords is that they're very tied together this week. In depth and reflection are almost the same energy. So it's like gazing into a pond and seeing yourself reflected back to you, or seeing certain attributes reflected back to you, but also being able to see past that and being able to see past that superficial reflection, to gaze into the depths of what is below. So it's kind of this week, maybe moving past some superficial things, and the deeper meaning of things easily coming to us, or being able to get to the root or the deeper part of a habit or behavior that we've had for a really long time. So being able to see past what it is on the surface into what the energy below it really is. And that's how we get back to the first one, which is progression, and we kind of move past that. So some releasing going on this week, or some recognition of what's going on and going, oh, I get why I've always done that, or oh, that's why I was going to do that, but I don't really need to. So being able to reflect on things, but see the deeper meaning in things and then progress past them. That is what this week's about. So let's talk about our crystal energy. And I did go ahead and draw the crystal card, but I have not looked at it yet. And I just did. And so if you do watch this channel, you know many times I say, that is so funny. Can you even believe that when I look at these cards? But this one is really, really that way. Let me remind you that the first Akashic keyword this week is progression. So I grabbed this card, the crystal card. I am progressive is the mantra or affirmation you can use this week. Our crystal will be brookite. But we have progression, and I am progressive. So saying you are in that energy of progression, you are moving forward, you are a progressive person who can reflect and look into the deeper meanings of things and learn and progress past things. I am progressive. That's perfect. So brookite works with all the chakras. So lining you all up across the board this week. And the three keywords are energizing, attracting, and flowing. I am progressive. So then let's talk about Sunday. Let me get my ducks in a row here. Sunday we have and again, this one will be from the Enchanted Map deck. We have the Magic Prayers card, or Magic Prayer card, sorry. So this is kind of about also, I think, being in the energy of flow, and just saying, speak your wishes out loud, make your intentions known, but do so through the lens of service. Like how can I get what I want? But how can I do it in a way that benefits everyone? So not in a superficial way. So that goes back to the reflection and the depth energy. Because there's nothing wrong with having what we want. It's just when it's through manipulation or superficiality that sometimes it doesn't really feel as good when we get it, right? So Magic Prayer says, what do you want? You can have whatever it is, but let's look at it through the lens of depth. Let's look at it through the lens of service and how it can benefit everybody for you to get what you want. So then Monday is our new moon in Pisces, and it says meditate and contemplate. So for this one, I will read a bit from the guidebook. And it says, the new moon in Pisces card speaks of dreams and romance, of soulmates and poetry. It suggests there's a new start coming your way that's connected to a matter that leaves you feeling somewhere between having your head in the clouds and being in a totally altered state. So I feel like Pisces, it's going to be about kind of emotion and that head in the clouds energy, that kind of watery energy. So it says, now this is interesting. This is the last sign of the zodiac, and the new moon in Pisces card can suggest a last ditch chance to make your dreams come true. So to me, that's kind of very interesting, lined up with the energy of reflection and depth. Like maybe we're seeing a new spin on something we've been working on. Maybe we're seeing a new aspect of it. Maybe we think the project is still viable, but we need to look below the surface to see how it connects with us now because we've changed. Don't hang on to things you no longer want just because you once did. It's okay to course correct. It's okay to pivot occasionally in life. And that's how we progress. That's how we are progressive. So, yeah, a lot of like productive movement forward this week is the message I'm getting. So then Tuesday, sorry, I have a cat here. Tuesday we have, so perfect. Tuesday we have the slow and steady card. So that's the energy. It's like it's almost like, this boulder energy where it's moving massive amounts of things, but it seems almost imperceptible, but really we are moving. So slow and steady says measured energy, measured movement, savor your life. It's moving anyway. Why not enjoy it during the phases of movement, during that progression? Big things are happening. And sometimes the bigger the things, the bigger the shifts, the slower they feel because that wheel is so big, right? This isn't a tiny little gear that's, moving one minute aspect of your life. This is a change, an energetic change, a change in your life, in your being, in your way of seeing things, in your way of reflecting, in your way of progressing. So know that gear is bigger, and sometimes you don't even feel the movement, but it is happening. So then Wednesday, we have the Gentle Gardener, one of my favorite cards. And this is like warm, fuzzy, unlimited, pure potential, pure possibility through co-creation energy. It is the number 2 card, which I feel like for some people tends to be kind of a lucky number or a synchronicitous number. So the Gentle Gardener is just kind of about trust. It's I like it on the heels of the slow and steady energy, because it is that kind of warm, fuzzy, wrapped up, held energy of we're in this together, is what that card says. So then Thursday, we have the Spirit of Place. And so this card says to me the thing that I have been repeating for weeks now, be here now. That has been popping up for me in meditations. When I will choose an intention to focus on during a meditation, it is, I am here now. So the Spirit of Place says the same thing, be here now, embody your authenticity, connect with you, the progressive you, the you that is here now. Friday, we have Ride the Wave. Be easy. Let the current carry you. Let the wave carry you. So very cohesive energy this week about being in flow, but you are making a progression. A lot of watery energy too. That's interesting. Isn't Pisces the symbol of Pisces is the fish, I think. So a very watery energy. But we also have depth and reflection. And the message I got about that before I even pulled the cards for this week was about looking into a pond. And then we have, being in flow and riding the wave. So very, very much kind of an energy of just allowing this week. Let the current carry you. And then Saturday, we have the wide open card. So this is the perfect way to kind of wind up this week about being in the flow and being progressive and allowing for progression, being wide open. All the possibilities are open to you now. So by being here now, you embody, and being authentic while you're here now, you embody the possibilities that are right for you now. So then let's do our yes or no cards. I'm going to go ahead and remove these. And these will, there's only 2 cards, so at some point they probably will be the same 2 weeks in a row if I continue to do this. Let me know in the comments if you like this part. If you don't, or you don't have a question this week, feel free to sign off now. I will see you next week. Have a great week. But if you want to do the yes or no question, just kind of formulate that in your head, focus on a question or a topic that you've been considering or contemplating this week that you would like a little extra guidance about. You can pause this if you need to get that formulated in your head. And then I'm going to just place these cards here, and I want you to have your question in mind and intuitively choose one of these cards. So if you chose this card this week, your answer is no. Which leaves, if you chose this card this week, your answer to your question is yes. So I hope that provides you with a little additional guidance for this week. Have a great week. Enjoy the new moon and enjoy this forward progression. I will see you next week.